Greetings, Benjamin J. from Ben's Trains with another in the series. Well, I wanted to document the first test of that new derusted track. So I put it in vinegar last night. It sat in there for 24 hours. I took it down to the kitchen sink, neutralized the acid with hot water and baking soda, rinsed it in clear water, put it in the oven at 150 degrees for about an hour. And I just got this plugged together. You can see it's still rather tweaked. I haven't done anything to it yet except reinstall the pins and put it together. So we're getting ready to test it. This is going to be the grand test. I have no idea how this is going to run. I have no idea if it's going to run, for that matter. This was really, really nasty, dirty, icky track. And you can see how dark it is. And the metal has been stained from all the rust on it. But it came out just like the other stuff did. All the rust is gone. So now it's just a matter of, will it run? So I'm going to grab a locomotive, put it on the rail, and this is going to be the very first test. I've got the power turned on. I've installed the magnetic lock-on. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Now, this is far from perfect, but I just want to see if it's going to work. So the entire layout was $6, with the exception of one piece. I'm missing one straight piece for this length of a layout, and I've installed one piece of new Menards track. So this is going to be the grand test. Keep your fingers crossed. I've got this connected to a Mark's 50-watt transformer. So, just got it assembled. Let's see what happens. Look at that. It works. That is running at a constant speed all the way around the layout. Now that is just absolutely amazing. 24 hours in 5% vinegar, and this stuff is running like new. Far from perfect. You can see it's still really tweaked. I haven't done anything to it yet except plug it back together after I installed the pins. As you can see, it's running. That is rather incredible. Absolutely amazing. So I've got to go through it now and straighten everything out and get everything realigned and lined up. I mean, this was junk. That's all you can say about it. This was junk. $6 for the entire layout. Really difficult to beat the price. And like I said, I installed one piece of new track to complete this size of a layout. Absolutely incredible. So I gotta say it, don't overlook the junk. $6 for the entire layout, and I now have 6 complete tracks up and running. And as you see, this is running like new, and this was bottom of the barrel junk. Rusted, terrible, bent, nasty track. Absolutely eaten alive with rust. And this is running just absolutely perfectly. Really hard to beat the price, $6. And that's running at, I don't know, 20% power. Of course, it's only a locomotive on there. So let's stop it. We put a couple of cars on here, and I'll just grab, let's see here, I'll just grab a couple off the, let's go with the Army train. Grab a caboose and grab a tender. All right, let's try this. This is absolutely incredible. And this was junk. This was bottom of the barrel junk track. No doubt about that. All right, so put on a tender, and we'll put on a caboose and see how this runs. All right, let's see what happens. As you can see, it's running just absolutely perfectly. Like I said, I haven't even done anything to it yet. I haven't straightened them out. Excuse me, I've been breathing vinegar for the last couple hours. I haven't straightened them out. I haven't done anything to them at all. I derusted it, put it in a sink full of hot water with baking soda to neutralize the acid, cleaned it in fresh water, put it on a cookie sheet, and put it in the oven to dry it. I sprayed it with WD-40, wiped it all down, reinstalled the pins. This is the very first test. And as you see, this is running just absolutely perfectly. It's running like new track. So this opens up lots and lots of possibilities. So it's simple to do. Best of all, of course, it works. So this layout, this complete layout was $6, with the exception of $4 worth of vinegar. And like I said, I had to install one new piece of Menard's track because I was one piece short to make a layout this long. But as you can see, that is running just absolutely splendidly on one of the worst layout, or one of the worst bunch of track that I have ever seen. This was junk. This was absolute junk. Got the whole thing for $6. Absolutely amazing. And that's running at about 30% power. And as you see, it's working, or it's just running perfectly. It's running like new track. You know, this was bottom of the barrel junk. $6 for all of it. So anyway, I'll probably pull it back apart, straighten everything out that's bent, because a lot of these pieces are still tweaked. Like I said, I wasn't sure if it was going to work. I had no idea. This was the worst track I had ever attempted to derust. But as you see, it's working absolutely perfectly. And I pulled all the pins out before I put it in the vinegar and derusted them in a little plastic cup. And then reinstalled them in the correct sequence so it would interface with standard Menard's track. So this was old American Flyer track. And it looks like there's several different kinds in this, including a couple of banked turns. There are a couple of banked pieces anyway. But like I said, this was the very first test, and as you see for yourself, this is running like brand new track. And you can see it is just still ugly, nasty, old track. But it's been derusted inside and out, so it conducts electricity just absolutely perfectly, which means it runs like new track. There's no rust left on it. There's no pitting. There's no problem with it at all, other than the fact that it's been abused for the last 60, 80 years, who knows how long. So like I said, I'll probably pull it back apart, straighten everything out. You can see it's tweaked in spots where it's not laying flat. But even so, I just wanted to do a quick video of the initial test. Now this was some really, really nasty track. And if you watched the video last night, the stuff was junk. That's all you can say about it. The average person would have thrown this in a trash can. It was worthless, useless, rusted old track. 24 hours in vinegar, and this is the result. This is running like absolute new track. And as you see, it's running at a constant speed all the way around, which means we have excellent conductivity through the entire track, and I'm running this with the magnetic lock on. Just absolutely incredible. Wow, so I've got a 6th rail that cost me $6. Actually 10 if you add in the cost of the vinegar. But the thing is, there was no labor involved. I didn't have to do anything to it except wait for the acetic acid in the vinegar to eat away that rust. And as you see, this is running just absolutely perfectly. No problem at all. So I'm going to probably put the Army train on here, run it for a day or so, see how it runs. And then, like I said, I will pull it apart, straighten everything out, true up the rails, plug it all back together. And like I said, the only thing that I was missing was one piece of original track for a layout this long, so I've installed one piece of new track. And as you see, this is running perfectly all the way around the layout. Just absolutely perfectly. Unbelievable. So like I said, it opens up lots of possibilities. If you run across a box of rusty old track, Instead of throwing it in a trash can, throw it in a plastic container full of white vinegar. 5% vinegar, wait 24 hours, clean it, deactivate the acid with baking soda and water, rinse it, put it on a cookie sheet, and dry it in the oven, and you will have perfect running track. Just absolutely incredible. Wow, that's running like new. That's all you can say about it. That is running just absolutely perfectly. So, like I said, it opens up lots of possibilities. I mean, the cost of track just went way, way down. It works absolutely splendidly. Couldn't be more happy than this. This was just an absolute amazing project to take this nasty old, terrible rusted track and bring it back to life. And I didn't have to do anything except wait. The acetic acid in the vinegar derusted it completely. And I pulled the pins, derusted them separately, just to tap them back in after I tightened all the holes on every single piece, of course, and put them back in a standard pattern. This was American Flyer track, so it had 2 pins on one end and 1 pin on the other. So I pulled them all out, of course, and installed all 3 pins on one end to duplicate the spacing for Menard's track, Mark's track, Lionel track. And it works just absolutely perfectly. No problem at all. And this was the very first attempt. I just plugged this together. I haven't straightened it out. I haven't done anything to it except reinstall the pins, plug it together, put on the magnetic lock-on. This was the first test. Just absolutely incredible. That's all you can say about it. It's just absolutely amazing that this nasty old track could run this well. So like I said, opens lots of possibilities. Find an old box of nasty track, don't throw it away. You can get it up and running in 24 hours. So I just wanted to do a video on this. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, benstrains@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.